Texas State Capitol today, the All In for Equality Coalition and a crowd of supporters rallied against legislation filed this session that they say would harm thousands of people in the LGBTQ plus community. KVUE's Jessica Cha was at the rally today, spoke with organizers about what they're fighting for. Good afternoon, Jessica.
Good afternoon, Brian. Yes, as the rally happened outside of the Capitol today, inside, the Senate Committee on State Affairs met at the Capitol to talk about a bill that would allow protections for school employees that refer to students by their biological sex without repercussions. And LGBTQ advocates that I spoke to today say that they're just fighting for the right to exist. Gathered at the steps of the Capitol are folks who identify as queer or their allies too, but they're also Texans too.
There is no Attorney General's opinion or piece of legislation or executive order that will force us to be anything other than our true, authentic selves.
But advocates say attacks against that have made that difficult. Last legislative session, Pritchett, Interim CEO of Equality Texas, says 140 anti-LGBTQ bills were filed. This year, there are more than 200.
We're seeing this uptick in attacks and new and terrible legislation that's designed to really eliminate people's ability to exist in public spaces.
Bills have ranged from restricting a transgender person's access to bathrooms to being unable to update legal documentation based on someone's gender identity. And people like Faith Northern see that can really affect people.
Hurts your self-confidence, your self-esteem as a human, but it also is scary. It feels really scary to be out in the world, to want to hold hands with my partner.
Northern, a therapist with queer clientele and being queer herself, says that makes them want to fight for their rights even more.
We're never going to go away, and so we need to be seen in spaces that are important, that are there for people to feel cared, seen, loved, and appreciated.
Fighting for rights that not everyone may need.
If it doesn't hurt anybody else, why the hell are you involved?
But could be the difference between life or death for another.
We demand recognition, respect, and protection under the law, and we will not stop fighting until we get it.
Because they say they're Texans too. Now, we mentioned the State Affairs hearing going on now inside of the Capitol, and that committee is set to take up Senate Bill 1999, which would protect school employees and students from disciplinary action if they refer to a student by their biological sex or the name on their birth certificate. Now, the author of the bill, State Senator Brian Hughes, says it allows public employees to focus on their jobs instead of being worried about consequences tied to communication about someone's gender. But that bill has yet to come up for discussion today. Live at the Capitol, Jessica Cha, KVUE News.